Last lecture we seen and we started evolution evidences. In that lecture we finished 2 points. First one morphological evidences and second one anatomical evidences. Now we will today study vestigial organ. So what is meant by vestigial organ? Vestigial organs means some organs in our body are undeveloped, they are degenerated and useless. These organs are called as a vestigial organs. Sometimes in case of the living organisms, some tissues are started to grow, but these and they form some organs. These organs are not useful for us. In some organisms they are useful, but in some organisms they are not useful. For example, vestigial organ, one is appendix. Appendix occurs in a ruminant plants and as well as sometimes in humans also. But in case of the ruminant plants, what is meant by ruminant? Ruminants means grazing animals. These grazing animals, they wanted this organ. Which one? Appendix. For the digestion of cellulose, whatever they are eating, nowadays also they are eating grasses contain cellulose, and for the digestion of the cellulose, this appendix is a very useful in a ruminant organisms. But in case of the human beings, whenever there is a growth of this appendix, in olden days also, in human beings appendix is a useful. Why? Because in olden days we are eating some fruits, then some roots of the plants. We are not eating the cooked food. At that time, for the proper digestion of this food, appendix is a useful on that day. Means in olden days it is a useful to us. But afterwards, nowadays in modern technology we are eating the cooked food. And whenever the cooked food is a very as compared to the olden days, it is a very easy to digest. It is not raw. In olden days, human beings are eating this raw material. But nowadays, we are eating a cooked food. And so, this appendix is not useful in our human beings. And so, this organ is nowadays called as a vestigial organ. But this appendix gradually disintegrates from our body. In olden days it was there, but now it is a gradually disappear from our body. But in some humans also, this appendix is observed and it is harmful to us. This part is a degenerated in some case of the human, but in some humans it is a occurs and it is a useless part. So it is called as a vestigial organs. From this example also we can say that in the ancient days it was there in a human, but nowadays it is a degenerated. And so this is the proper example. Now so many examples like the wisdom teeth, then coccyx. These all organisms are the examples of the vestigial organ. Some organisms, some pictures I am going to show you in your textbook. In this textbook also, see here. Here is a appendix near the large intestine and small intestine. Here one part is elongated called as appendix, tailbone. Then wisdom teeth occurs. This is also vestigial part in our body. Some body hairs are also present on the human beings. Ear muscles. These are the all vestigial organs present in our body. Now in your textbook, some pictures are there. First picture is a Now I am going to show you some pictures from the textbook of the vestigial organs. Here is the appendix, which is an elongated part, comes out from this near the large intestine and the small intestine. Here wisdom teeth, tailbone, ear muscles which are not useful. So these all are called as a vestigial organ. These vestigial organs, they are not suddenly disappears from our human body. They are slowly disappears from our body, and this principle is natural selection. Now second point I am going to tell, that is palynological evidences. That is the fourth point. Now see, palynological evidences. Sometimes one question arises in your mind, that how we can develop on earth, how the life exists on the earth, and some evidences of these living organisms like plants and animals are occurs in the earth crust. These evidences are present, they get buried in the earth. And whenever some biological scientists are studying, or geological scientists are studying these evidences, they get some proofs of that impression of some plants and animals which are buried in the earth due to the earthquake, flood. During these disasters, some plants and animals get buried in the earth, and their impressions occurs on some stones, some type of objects, and so from that, studying that objects, we can say that plants are present in that period. These impressions, whatever we got in earth crust, called as a fossils. Some parts are, all of you know, we are living organisms. Our living organisms are made up of carbon. In our body, carbon is present. Whenever we are in a living condition, the ratio of the C14 and C12 changes continuously in our body. But whenever our life stops, whenever any organisms get died, at that time the ratio of C14 and C12 get changes, they get stops, and it starts decaying. Why? Because the C12 it is a non-radioactive ratio, and because of this C12 non-radioactive element, the ratio of C14 and C12 get changes in case of the dead animals. By studying this, we can calculate age of that particular animal. In nowadays also we can classify, or we can identify the age of that animal. This animal was present in which era? Ancient era, or that middle era, or now it is in a recent. By measuring this ratio C14 and C12, we consider the age of human beings also, and some manuscripts. So this is the palynological evidences get very important role by calculating the age of persons as well as the age of that whatever object we get buried in the earth. From these palynological evidences, some pictures are there present in your textbook. That pictures are showing that how we can develop. All of you know there are so many organisms are there, vertebrates, non-vertebrates. So one question will be arise that vertebrates get first, they are present on the earth, or non-vertebrates are present on the earth. So one answer is showing you. Some pictures are there in your textbook. That one in a textbook. See, there is a picture. Invertebrates, and from the invertebrates, they slowly and gradually there is a formation of vertebrates. Here, Paleozoic era, then Mesozoic era, and Cenozoic era. Here, some invertebrates, some animals are showing. Here are present some animals which occurs at the base of the earth crust. The organisms which occur at the base, they are observed first on the earth. Then next one, in case of the Mesozoic era, some Pisces, some fishes, then reptiles, and then lastly there is the presence of the aves and the mammals. So from this example we can conclude that firstly there is a development of these invertebrates. Then slowly we get reptiles. Then we get mammals. And these gradually, from this studying the earth crust, all the impression of the animals of the earth crust, we can say that also this is also one type of paleontological evidences. From this we can say that slowly we can develop from the invertebrates to the vertebrates. By using C14 and C12 ratio, by using C14 and C12 ratio, we are studying and we can calculate the age. And from this method is known as carbon dating method. This method is called as a carbon dating method. Here we finish two evidences, vestigial organ and paleontological evidences. Next time we will study the next point.